Now look, I know, it's crazy that somebody like me with the slime cup, slime tattoo, slime stuff, Dragon Quest here, Dragon Quest posters here, has never played Dragon Quest 1 until right now. I mean, as a lifelong Final Fantasy fan, I've watched Dragon Quest as a series grow and evolve and be praised and celebrated, but I've never played that original entry. So of course this all changed with the new release of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD. It felt like the perfect time to finally experience the roots of the series in a way that now looks and feels timeless. And I'll admit, I've always been a little intimidated by the idea of playing the original NES version. I mean, I know it can be a little bit grindy, old school, unforgiving and punishing at times, and there were also some fan remakes that I considered playing, but I ultimately just decided to hold off, and I'm glad I did. So now I can finally play this missing piece in this ever-growing JRPG puzzle, take it off my list, and experience what made JRPGs great to begin with. Now, before we get any further, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and leave your thoughts down below on Dragon Quest. Have you played the original one? Are you playing the HD remake of 1? I'm really excited to dive into this because this has been an experience that I've been wanting to have forever. So thanks to Square Enix for providing me with a review code for PlayStation 5. I did buy it for Switch, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the video. And let's just dive into my experiences with Dragon Quest 1 as a poser of a Dragon Quest fan. I mean, look at me with my cup and the tattoo. All right, let's go. Going in, I had a pretty clear expectation of what Dragon Quest 1 might be or should be. A simple foundational experience, maybe even a little bit clunky by today's standards, but after diving into some more complex games lately like Trails in the Sky First Chapter or Final Fantasy Tactics, Evil Ace Chronicles, I found myself craving something a little more traditional, a return to roots kind of JRPG. So the opening moments are absolutely beautiful. You start with the king, a brief explanation of your quests, and then off you go. One hero, one sword, one goal, defeat the Dragon Lord and save the kingdom. It's minimalist storytelling for sure, but it works. And coming off of games that have dozens of party members, massive worlds, hours of cutscenes, 30, 40 plus hours to complete, I found this simplicity really refreshing. Dragon Quest 1 seems to know exactly what it wants to be. A pure RPG where story serves gameplay, not the other way around. I mean, visually, this HD 2D remake is stunning. The sprite work, the lighting, the color palette, it's all gorgeous. It's got that classic Akira Toriyama feel, and it really just brings it to life in a way that feels both nostalgic and new. I mean, I grew up with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, so playing Dragon Quest now feels like a coming home kind of thing. That same sense of whimsy, but wrapped in a new world. It really is like revisiting something familiar later in life and realizing that you appreciate it even more now. And the music here, it's perfect. I mean, every single track feels regal, adventurous, and iconic. The orchestrated soundtrack elevates the entire experience. It's heroic without being overbearing, and I never once got tired of hearing it. It really captures that grand quest feeling that so many modern games try to chase. And there's also something really special about starting alone. I love the one hero setup. You're out there in this vast world all by yourself. Every win, every level up, every scroll you find feels personal. There's a weight to it because you are the only one standing against everything evil in this world. That sense of solitude adds a subtle tension that made the adventure feel much more exciting and rewarding as I went on. Exploring the world of Dragon Quest 1 is simple, but it also is incredibly rewarding. I played this version probably 99% blind, only looking at guides for getting specific armor sets, which I'll talk about here soon. And I was really surprised by how intuitive it all felt. Sure, yes, there are map markers here and there, but the world design is also straightforward enough that you rarely feel lost. There's always a sense of direction, even without someone constantly telling you what to do. Each town felt alive in its own way. I always made a beeline for weapon shops, seeing what I could afford and what kind of new gear I could grab, and then spent time exploring every nook and cranny, checking pots, drawers, barrels, and wells. That classic RPG tradition of poking into everyone's homes for stuff, I mean, honestly, doesn't get old. As you find better keys throughout the story, returning to earlier towns to unlock new doors or areas or chests became a really fun, satisfying loop. There were definitely a few times I forgot which locked door I was supposed to come back to, and it almost felt like the game was kind of nudging me to remember, to pay attention, and that made unlocking each new chest or door feel very rewarding. Because this was my first time playing, every area felt fresh for the most part. I mean, I did play Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D last year, so it was fun to recognize some parts of the world. I mean, since technically 3 is a prequel, seeing some familiar locations but in a different time period really gives you that unique feeling like, oh wow, like this is where that place came from, or I've kind of been here before. It's definitely classic open-ended exploration done right, and never overwhelming, always engaging. Now, combat in Dragon Quest I is about as pure as turn-based RPGs get. Yes, at first it can feel a little bit grindy. You are the lone hero after all, but as you level up, things get smoother and very rewarding. Hunting down metal slimes or liquid metal slimes for that massive burst of experience never stop feeling exciting. And the simplicity of having just one character actually makes every decision count more. You're balancing spells, attacks, buffs, debuffs, and healing all on your own. It's straightforward, but certainly never boring. And when you pull off a tough fight, it feels genuinely earned, more so than last year with Dragon Quest III HD 2D. I mean, we're all on our own. And there's a rhythm to the grind as well, the kind that you can put on a YouTube video or a podcast or just zone out and watch the numbers climb. I mean, it's very weirdly meditative in a way, and I find that I can just really zone out or zen out and chill and enjoy the grind. And I don't often feel that way with some JRPGs, but Dragon Quest just seems to get me in that mood. I really love it. So the combat loop can become comforting in a way that oftentimes modern RPGs miss. And the progression overall feels really satisfying. Learning new spells, finding Erdrick's gear, which I did use some guides for, unlocking stronger attacks, and everything just made each step feel more meaningful as I went on. So grinding really never felt like a chore here. Instead, it's the heartbeat of the adventure. This is what you're supposed to do, and it just felt natural to enjoy something like this in this way. Now hang on, before we talk any more Dragon Quest, did you guys know that almost 90% of the people that watch my channel on the regular are not subscribed? So if you would like to stay in touch with me on every video I release each week, I would love to have you here. Otherwise, if you want more content on the daily, you can follow me over on my Instagram page where I'm posting daily JRPG related stuff, and it's a really quick and easy way to interact with you guys. Anyway, more Dragon Quest right now. Let's be honest, Dragon Quest I is not known for its deep, layered storytelling, and that's totally fine. It's a simple tale, a hero on a quest to save a princess and defeat evil. But it works because it's pure. It's the archetype every JRPG built on afterwards. And despite being so straightforward, I still found it very charming. The silent hero actually works really well here. You feel in his personality in your head, and that makes the adventure feel personal. And when he does finally speak at the end, spoilers, it hits harder precisely because of that silence. And there are some little emotional touches as well. Like after saving the princess, yeah, it's a little cheesy that she instantly falls in love with you, but since I'm a softie, I found it really endearing. I mean, it's simple and it's sweet. I have to mention Dragon Lord's twist near the end, where he offers to let you join him and rule the world together. Again, it's simple, but I love that this game even gives you that option. I suppose when you played this originally back in the mid to late 80s, it definitely would have been a surprise. And of course I declined because, we're scions of Erdrick. We don't just say yes to that kind of stuff. But overall, having that option shows you the subtle creativity of early RPG design. And by the time the credits rolled, I felt very satisfied. Predictable, sure, but comfort food doesn't need to surprise you. It just needs to make you feel good. And that's exactly what this game did. It's impossible to overstate how important Dragon Quest I is for JRPGs as a genre. This is the blueprint. This is the game that introduced turn-based combat, leveling systems, towns, dungeons, and that satisfying loop of talking to NPCs, upgrading gear, and venturing deeper into danger. Everything we take for granted in RPGs started right here, and is now refined with the HD 2D version. Playing this specific version gives you the best of both worlds, that classic structure and pacing, but with quality of life improvements that make it more approachable. It's still Dragon Quest, but it feels smoother, faster, and more welcoming to new players. And because this is my first time playing it, I can't really speak on what differences there are, but overall, even if you played the original one, I'm sure there's going to be some new stuff here for you as well. And I honestly think this version is perfect for introducing younger audiences to the series. The difficulty settings make it more accessible, you never lose in battle, and the presentation makes it feel timeless. It's like a history lesson wrapped in a beautiful modern package. And you know what's funny? That simplicity, the very thing people sometimes criticize, is exactly what a lot of modern indie RPGs or JRPGs chase now. That focus on freedom, straightforward progression, letting players explore their own pace is very much a part of why Dragon Quest feels so relevant even today. And I know a lot of people might play this for the first time, comparing it to Final Fantasy, but honestly, you have to avoid that. It's really better to appreciate it on its own terms, especially in this polished HD 2D form. Finishing Dragon Quest I left me feeling respect, feeling nostalgia and excited. I'm genuinely looking forward to jumping into Dragon Quest II HD 2D next for the very first time. I mean, I know nothing about that game, and I knew nothing about Dragon Quest I as well, and I was absolutely blown away by this adventure I've just had. This experience reinforces why I love JRPGs. That sense of adventure, that progression, that personal achievement, it's all rolled into one. And it reminds me of how important it is to understand where the genre started, the roots behind the systems and the stories we enjoy today. And there's also something really cool about maybe sharing this with my son. I did buy the HD 2D collection for him as well on Switch, though I did get this as a review code for PlayStation 5, like I said earlier. So hopefully he might want to play soon. I mean, having physical copies of this game to pull off the shelf is very important to me because he might want to play it, and he might love JRPGs as much as I do now. So passing down experiences like this, showing somebody where it all began, adds another layer of enjoyment that I just wasn't expecting to have later in life, especially now becoming a parent. So if I had to sum up Dragon Quest I in a few words: fun, rewarding, full of legacy, and an absolute joy to experience. Even now, decades later with the HD 2D version. It's history that you can play, and it still works. It's great. It's awesome. It feels adventurous, and it reminds me of why I fell in love with JRPGs in the first place. So that's my experience with Dragon Quest I HD 2D. It was exactly what I was looking for, and it's not often that I'm able to scratch an itch like that, and it was such a comfort food game, like I said before. Have you guys played it? I'm really interested to know your thoughts, your feedback as well on this HD 2D re-release. You can tell me what's different as well, because I don't really know, because I haven't played the original yet. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on another video next week. Bye-bye.